December 17th, and it's 11:21. All right, agenda topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting.
Mr. Chairman, can I just speak?
Yes.
I just wanted to know what happened to our executive session that was scheduled for December 3rd.
It was canceled.
I didn't get it canceled.
None of us did, because I spoke to Pam.
It was a tentative date.
Right.
You actually were supposed to tell us if you were available. We didn't get any confirmation of that, but then the commissioner withdrew the request as well, so it was canceled.
Okay.
Okay.
Why is there, what's it, voting thing? Do you vote on?
Approval of the minutes.
Oh, if you're gonna add anything,
Oh.
if you would have to vote on it, but it's
Oh,
not.
okay.
We have nothing.
Nothing good. All right. Moving on to approval of the minutes. I don't know if anybody has read all this.
So I didn't read it all, but I did see a couple of issues with the spelling and wording. There's a few things that I said that were put in here that I didn't say, was added on to it. But I'm not going through that. Also, if you go to the third page on number 4, page 4,
Mm-hmm.
is that supposed to be where it says, let's see, so revision, Sue, Pam, Reese, Pam, Crystal, Pam, where it says annual. Is that supposed to be annual?
Annual.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the budgetary term, so it's
Okay.
annual net
Oh, it's an acronym.
utilities excluding
Okay.
some.
Right.
You did well.
Yeah, it's an account. I'll get that for you.
Mr.
Okay.
Chairman?
And also, one moment,
Okay.
also, where it says, a little far down, it says Pam Creek said year end, but it's one word. It's supposed to be 2 words.
Oh.
It's liabilities.
Yeah, okay.
Annual excluding liability.
You got
I
it?
think so.
Okay. I didn't get a chance to read it as everyone else did not, but
Do you want to table it, or?
I think
We
maybe
can-
we can table it. 'cause
You wanna
there's like
table it
a
the
million
next-
pages
next
here.
month?
Yeah, let's.
I would
table it.
suggest
Just that you would watch the video.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to say one thing. On page 1, when I speak after Reese and she speaks after me, there's not full sentences because it's proving there that I'm getting cut off. Sue Oppenheimer, I wanted to know since last meeting, that I'm cut off, she's after me. The same thing with Sue Oppenheimer. No, I didn't get a chance to complete my sentence, and then Reese speaks after me. Is an example of how I'm getting cut off. It's showing right here if you're following the exact tape and they're taking it word for word.
All right. Well, let's read it through and
And come back to
we'll
it.
table it until the next meeting, so. All
But I'd
right.
like to add that to the agenda since we didn't have our meeting, to add that as an agenda item under commissioners is cutting each other off.
I don't think, as a commissioner and being on this board for a few months now, again, I think that's something personal, because when it comes to a meeting, we are discussing the Board of Commissioners, the Hadley Housing Authority, the finance and so forth. So you've mentioned in the meetings that Reese has cut you off and you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel safe. However, putting this on the agenda that you feel as you're being cut off is something that we can discuss with the actual packet, the minutes, as you did now.
So
this would-
when will we be
Next
discussing
meeting.
this? Well, how can we discuss it if it's not on the agenda?
Because none of this was on the agenda. And what you're saying you want on the agenda is the fact that Reese cut you off,
And the
correct?
fact that people in the community mentioned that I was not being treated
But
properly.
when I did speak with these people and I asked them if they can come to a meeting, they never responded. So I'm not sure.
Because I think people would tell you something in confidence, they probably wouldn't want their names
But
out
when it
there.
comes down to it being publicized, we have to get who it is. We can't just have an anonymous person. It could be anyone with several, it could be one person with several different emails.
It could be.
Yeah, so when I said, okay, I understand, how about we have a meeting, they didn't respond. So that's why the meeting was canceled as well.
All right. Okay, we're moving on. I guess executive director report. The warrant report? Where are we?
So we have one warrant report for accounts payable that were paid on November 14th. It's the one page, and it's for $11,822.39.
All right. We need a vote on that.
Motion.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Yes.
Second? All right, any more discussion on it?
No.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. 3 done. Treasurer's report.
So we have the treasurer's report for November 30th
Yes.
from Gary DePace. And it's showing pretty much everything is in order. Laundry receipts are growing. We are working on the, I'll draw your attention to the very bottom of that, is the modernization. Funds paid but not reimbursed is $21,737. Reimbursements received but not paid is $77,634. And mod admin received but not paid is the the $19,285. So we are working with EOHLC and RCAT and through the Cap Hub portal to get everybody paid and all the projects going.
Is there a reason why this hasn't been paid yet?
It's between, Cap Hub is a computer program that EOHLC uses that is very difficult for architects and contractors and RCAT and our director of facilities to use, and EOHLC. They are working on it to improve it. And then the other part is that there is such a backlog throughout the state and at EOHLC with approving.
Okay.
So they're in queue and it's just a matter of time before they're paid.
Okay, one other question for you, on the write-off. I noticed we had a write-off request here, and it's not on this page here.
It's gonna show up on December's.
So
When you approve it, it'll go on December's.
No, okay, all right.
And units occupied 2. Units vacant 2. So that means we've occupied more?
No, it's inaccurate. I can
Oh,
talk to
I was
Gary
going
to
to
see
say,
where
yeah,
that.
because it was way more the last
Yeah,
time.
it's definitely, when we get to the vacant unit, you'll see that it's still there. I'm not sure where he pulled that from, but
Okay.
we'll get that
But
corrected.
the unit occupied is correct, or that's incorrect as well?
That's incorrect too. It says 10. We have
Yeah, exactly.
way more than.
Okay.
Okay. All right, okay, now we go to the write-off report. I guess we just did that, but, all right.
So the write-off requests are, as you can see, one elderly tenant that owed $7,827.87. And then the state housing, $2,665. The elderly tenant, I do just want to say that the housing authority, it's so high because the housing authority worked for quite a while to help this tenant to get services, and despite TPP and resident service coordinators and other folks stepping in, we weren't able to save that tenancy. And then we're gonna write it off, and the likelihood of us getting any of that back is
No.
none. The state family housing is a different case. We will try to attempt to collect that through collections. So you will need to approve that amount. We will need a vote to write it up.
A motion made?
Yes, please.
I make a motion.
Motion made, accept there's a second?
Yeah.
Any more discussion on it?
Just
just one thing, so it's the 7827.87 is the one amount you're not getting back, correct?
Exactly.
Unfortunately, yes.
I need a vote?
I
All in
vote
favor?
yes. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, property management report, unit vacancy report.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Pamela Creek, when you do print these, is there any way to make this bigger?
I can try.
Okay, yeah, because this is really tiny. Thank you.
So actually, this is a little off too, so for, November, the ending November, the vacant unit would have been 6 here at Golden Court. And then 2 at Berkway.
So it's 6 and 2.
6 and 2, yep. And then we do have 2 lease-ups coming, and then our 2 projects, which you'll be bidding on for Golden Courts, for those 88 units, those are coming, we're going out to bid. We're awarding that bid today.
Really?
Yep,
Good job.
so that'll start coming, those will come back online, and we do already have people for those as well.
Good,
And then the Berkway is also projects.
All right.
good. How's Berkway going? How's everything with
It's
that?
too slow, but,
Really?
yeah, too slow, but hoping.
Yeah.
Okay, next is, tenants account receivable report.
So, as you see, property management is doing a pretty good job. On the beginning of our elderly housing, we do have a little bit of an increase in the TAR, so the balance received. Staff is working diligently to get people into repayment agreements. Same thing with the 705, you will see that down below, there is one new payment agreement for the 667s.
Okay.
So we are working it.
So I'm not, oh, the $200, right, for SEH? Because under payment agreement on mine, it doesn't have anything for 667. It's blank. Am I looking in the wrong place?
That's under fraud. So we have no fraud repayment agreements.
Right, so
Under-
it's the 200 then?
It's, what's the one, the balance is $3,571, the last
Yeah.
41.
What did you say the amount was?
$3,571.41. It's at the very end of this, so this, at the top of the chart for the
Yeah.
repayment, no, the bottom chart, yep. But
Oh, I
just-
see it over here,
Yeah.
the amount, oh, okay.
Yep, so that's just regular repayments. We don't have any fraud in the 667.
But you do with the 705, $80? No.
Nope, the
Okay.
705, 2756.
Okay, so this new agreement in 667 is $200 for this tenant, right? Or whomever?
No, they made $200 payment. It's probably, it's a month's rent for that tenant. I'm aware of this repayment agreement. It's
Okay.
just there was, so it's 1 month's rent.
And they've already paid 200 towards that 1 month's rent?
No, the 200 is all the payments together, that people that are in the repayment. So it
Okay.
could be 3 or 4 different tenants.
Okay, so this is an accumulation of payments for whatever tenants owe this month?
Yes,
I got it. Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
And it says there is a fraud repayment for 705 at $100, correct?
2756 is the total. I do believe that's one tenant.
Hmm.
It's unreported. Fraud is such a strong word, but it is the word that EOHLC uses, and it's in the lease, so it's unreported income. So if you don't report your income, it's considered fraud, and it goes under that.
Don't they
one.
understand this when you have housing?
They're
Like,
told.
yeah, now you owe $2,756.
Right.
Wow, I bet you that's more than you make a month.
Luckily, we got into a repayment agreement, and
Yeah.
hopefully they'll
Hopefully they'll be able to
stay on track.
stay on track, because it shows they've already made $100, so that's not bad. I mean, they can afford that, which is
Yeah.
good. Okay. So it's $5,749.41 for the total repayment arrangements
Correct.
for the payments so far received, 380, which leaves it to 5,369.41.
Okay, moving on, facilities, capital report?
Yep, so we do have, the, capital administrative expense form for the admin fee for project 117096. So this was a project that was managed and, by the Amherst Housing Authority, not RCAT, not an architect, not a house doctor or EOHLC, for both units 28 and 30. So the housing authority had some contractors come in for plumbing and electrical, and then any other structural things that were done, and the authority painted and new floors and refurbished the units. So this is the 10% fee that is allowed within the budget of this project that we're requesting as compensation for managing the project.
Okay, and this money goes to
Amherst Housing.
just Amherst Housing?
Yep.
Okay. And is there any way to actually include what was done to show where the money, where everything?
You'll get that, that should be in the, when you get the, to close out the project.
Okay.
So we still need to close out the whole project,
Okay.
and you'll see line items
It'll be
of
broken
everything
down
that was
that
done.
way. Okay.
Yeah,
So Pam, were you saying that 28 and 30 were apartments here?
yeah, oh yes, yep, Golden Court.
And you said they were painted, it was electrical things, plumbing and so forth?
Yeah.
Okay.
But why would that be above and beyond what maintenance are being paid for their hourly wages?
Because it's under a capital project, which, so we applied for additional funding in your capital project. So that's a whole slew of forms. There's forms and receipts have to be submitted through that cap hub to EOHLC. We have to we contract it out in some instances, and then we have to account for this.
So the money you spent out is what you're requesting back from it,
Well,
is 10% because you've contracted outsourced, are you saying?
No, it's the admin fee that's allowed in every project.
Okay.
So we're requesting that.
Okay.
Is this the first time that maintenance, that our maintenance, of which is shared by 3 housing authorities, is doing extra, that the administrative fee is there? Because other years, basically, it was just covered by, well, the maintenance, because they work for Amherst Housing. It wasn't something extra. It was just part of their regular pay. They showed up, they did the project, and
So
the
to be-
project was finished.
Yep, so to be clear, nobody's getting extra pay for this. It's an administrative fee, so it goes into the line item
Yeah.
in Amherst. But yes, this is the first time, because if you recall, they had the vacant unit initiative that EOHLC came out with due to the high number of vacancies across the Commonwealth.
Right.
So we took advantage of that, and we applied for extra money than what you normally get.
And that's why you were able to do much more,
Yes,
I see.
yeah.
Without that, you wouldn't have been able to cover so much stuff.
Right, it would really be just a paint job,
Yeah, okay.
paint job, yeah. So it Hadley got a lot more capital money than what we had originally been offered.
Okay.
Which is also those units over at Workway and the 2 units that you're gonna be voting on for the ADA. Those actually fall under vacant unit too, and you'll see they're a lot more money.
Yeah, I would imagine, you have to put the ramps in for them as well, correct?
No, actually, those units have 0 entry. That's why we chose those. Yeah, some of the units here at Golden Court have concrete that goes
Right.
right up,
Right.
so there's no step in.
Right.
So that's why we chose those 2 units to do ADA.
Okay, so you don't have to add outside things to it, just whatever is necessary
Yeah,
for
it's the
internal.
bathroom, yeah. And
Yeah.
even then, they're only gonna be partially ADA. So
Oh.
but they're gonna allow.
Now it can be legal.
Well, safer. It'll be
Safer.
safer, yeah.
There you go, okay.
So we do need a vote for that.
Mhm.
All right, do I have a motion made?
I make a motion.
Second?
I think I'd like to think about it and give my vote at another time.
Why were you thinking about it?
Because this is the first time that this has happened, and I want to check it out to make sure that it's something that's, we're allowed to have. Because maintenance,
Wait.
people have been renovating apartments forever, and there's been no 10% fee kept by Amherst Housing. This is the first time for this,
This
so.
is to get the project moving forward.
Well,
for
the project will move
disabled
forward if
people.
they get the 10% anyway.
No, it won't. That's what they're trying to get the money so they can move forward. So this is for not only to approve the things that happened in 28 and 30, but as Pamela said, this is also for the ADA units. So she stated that they
Well,
will receive,
If I can just clarify,
Yeah,
thank you,
yeah.
I appreciate though. It is for units 28 and 30, it is not for the maintenance, it is for administrative.
Yes.
So the Amherst Housing Authority has a director of facilities, which Belchertown, Hadley, and Amherst didn't have prior to coming together. So this goes towards Amherst to help compensate for that director. So it's an admin fee. Well, I'm not sure, you know, we go through this every time we're doing the admin fee. So we're working for you, hold on, we're working for you as a contractor.
But you're getting
And
paid
wait,
for
let her
it.
finish, let her
But we're
finish.
not, we're going above and beyond. It's an additional scope of work that you don't
Right.
wanna pay us for. But we only need 2 votes to carry, so I would request that we do vote, and if it's not unanimous, it's not unanimous.
okay, so you can
Right.
second that then.
So do we
I say
want,
no.
Okay, so
No.
you said you wanted to take a chance to look at it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I'd like
but
to.
can you just explain what you're going to, the type of research, so we'll know?
I'll have to, that'll be, when I think about it, I'll have to plan. And who I call and discuss this with to see, because she said this is a first time happening.
No.
I wanna make sure that other housing authorities also, I mean, this is something that's being done. Because we pay,
Administrative
Hadley
fees?
Housing pays Amherst Housing a fee just to run us. And if you feel that you want additional monies, I would like to know why you feel, what are you doing extra that you feel that that 10% is you?
Ma'am, I just believe I explained that to you.
But it
It,
did,
so it didn't explain it to you that we sat down, that I sat down at a computer for weeks on end applying for additional grant money through your capital project. We obtained well over, I believe it was what, $600,000 or $700,000 when you add in what's going on at Burke Way, that we got that money, and then now we're doing these individual projects, and we're requesting $1,500 to reimburse the housing authority for the time. So again, we're doing extra work, and you just don't wanna pay us for that.
I'm not saying I don't want to pay, I want to
No,
know
you
more
are.
about it, and
I
other
don't-
housing authorities are
You
also
already called other,
utilizing
you
that
actually
additional
did
money.
call other housing authorities, you called Amherst Housing Authority, which was part of the problem with you and the commissioners. So, again, I just respect that you have a first and a second, I respectfully ask that you just call for a vote.
I
So
say
we keep going over this with the admin fee.
no, just,
no.
Yes.
yes. 2 to 1.
Thank you.
All right, your next project there?
Yes. So, this one is for the units 35 and 37, which are going to be, they're gonna have some ADA renovations to them. So we've run into a little bit of an issue with this bid. It went out to bid, and typically you do award the project to the lowest bidder. But we found through the background check that the architect did, that it doesn't seem that the lowest bidder has the knowledge or the experience to do what the project is. They seemed more to be like a general carpenter, and this one has a lot, the majority of this project is the bathroom. So it's plumbing, and it's significant because we're taking out, you know, a bathtub, in a smaller bathroom, we're taking out a bathtub and we're putting in a roll-in shower, which is all new drainage underneath, so, we did ask the architect to go to the second bidder and check their references
Cornerstone, yeah.
Cornerstone.
Yeah.
We do also have prior working knowledge with Cornerstone. They're a local company. So the suggestion is that the board not award it to Sanford Construction Corporation. The base bid was $58,220. Cornerstone is $65,611. And we're requesting that you award the bid to them. And they're all attached to the packet is all the references,
Okay, yeah.
the bid, they've had the bid bond.
And Cornerstone is located in Holyoke, correct?
Yes. Excuse me.
Quite the difference from now to the last two.
It is, it's always surprising when you look at the bids, the range.
Mhm.
But there's lots of reasons for that. It could be, the other people maybe just have too much work to do right now.
That's possible. yeah.
But there is a significant amount, a significant range.
All right, I need to vote on that then?
Yes,
Also?
please. So I think we would need a vote to disqualify Sanford as the low bidder and then award to Cornerstone.
Okay.
And this is the contract for Cornerstone right here.
Yes. Well, the bid bond, they have to put down a surety bond of money to show that they have assets.
Yeah, okay, and this is what this is.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we'll make a motion to accept the bid of Cornerstone Building Services.
I make a motion to accept this.
A second?
Second,
Can I, for discussion?
For discussion?
Can I just amend that motion to disqualify Sanford Construction Corporation as the
Wait.
low bidder?
Yeah, we
And
can do that
Okay.
also. We'll do it. Can I finish this one?
Sure, yeah,
And then,
absolutely.
then-
Yep.
Okay, all in favor with discussion and all in favor
Yeah.
of Cornerstone. Now we'll go back to Sanford Construction Corporation. Motion made to not accept their bid,
Yes. To disqualify them.
disqualify.
yes,
Okay. A bit more discussion on it, no?
yes.
Okay.
I vote yes.
Oh,
Disqualify.
No, he said any more discussion.
No, no more discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you.
Okay.
All right, where are we now? Work order report.
So we have 3 pages, 3 pages of work orders that we've been doing, so they are keeping very busy. So I do just want to point out, yeah, on the second page.
No vote necessary on that. Anybody, any discussion on work orders? No.
I nothing, no discussion.
I do.
What?
Okay, so on 11/18, there was a stove fire at Golden Court.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, there was no loss of property or to life, so that was a good thing. We are working, excuse me, there were 2 tenants that were affected, and we are working through housing court with both. to try to get the situation resolved.
Okay.
And that's where it says the tenant's daughter bought a stove without permission?
No, that's another unit. This has been a couple of things, we've had a couple of these
Mhm.
with tenants buying, this is a completely separate issue, but we had 2 tenants go out and buy stoves, and that's just not allowed.
Okay.
So we are working to get those stoves removed from the property and ours put back in.
It says in progress work order, so that's,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
That's one. And then you said the other one was the fire.
It's on page 2, yeah, it's work order 4532. I just want to say the fire department was very responsive. The building commissioner came out, the board of health came out. There was a pretty good response. It was 4:30, 5 o'clock at night that this happened. But the town did a really great job
Mm-hmm.
with that.
Good.
You said 4532?
Yeah. Yeah, this is a report after the fact to double check a couple of things.
284533.
Luckily, one of the neighbors was home and gained access and put,
4532?
um,
I can't find it. It goes 45.
it's under request. It's actually not under emergency.
532.
It's like the 8th one down. It's Crystal under request. That was a follow-up.
Oh, I see it here, okay. Okay, I got it.
I see it, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So these are all the work orders in progress and some that are completed, but this all pertains to the work that maintenance does and the town, correct?
Nope, just me.
Just maintenance, well, when you said the town came out,
Oh, because the fire department, the board of health, the building commissioner, they were part of that fire
Okay.
response.
okay, it's a lot of work orders,
Yeah.
all right.
All right, move on, board correspondence. Anything?
Nope, we received nothing.
Okay. Commissioner discussions. Yes.
I requested at a previous meeting, I can't remember if it was last month or the month before, that the policy subcommittee would think about stepping down and give other board members a chance to be on a subcommittee. Pointed out the fact that the people who were on the subcommittee were also on other committees, and I'm just a commissioner who shows up for my meetings and think it's a good idea to let other people have a chance to be on the subcommittee.
Okay, yeah, well, we never had that meeting because of Reese
Right,
ended
she's
up
been sick.
being out, so.
No, we brought it up at other meetings now because,
No, since that was brought up to actually do there was something else.
Code of conduct was
Right.
one of them.
And then we were supposed to discuss it when we received that information, if, look over it and see if someone else can be on the,
Right.
yeah,
But
but
it never
when I'm
happened.
saying before you were on the board, we brought it up to have.
Right, I can't.
Right,
It
that's what I'm
has to be
saying.
done while I'm here.
Right.
I
So it's
don't
not
know.
the first time I brought it
So-
up.
So we can discuss it once Reese is back, and then the code of conduct, we'll review that, and we'll go over it, and then we can discuss.
But I'd like to get it on the agenda, so make sure we do discuss it, and she doesn't keep us from it.
But we
I'll
can't
discuss it.
discuss it if it's not been done, the code of conduct, that has to be done first. Once the code of conduct comes, then you and I can review it, and we can give our input, and then once we have that, we can discuss, if you're okay with it, of how to now move around the authority of the subcommittee. But I think we should deal with the code of conduct first, just to get that out of the way.
Yeah, and how I felt about it when we voted on the code of conduct is we have the policies, we've got the regs, we've got the rules, and one more code of conduct, especially for people who are volunteering their time. I think it's a little bit, I mentioned the fact that I thought it was overkill.
Well, that's why
I think that we as adults showing up at these meetings and showing up that we're coming steadily, monthly, is enough code of conduct to.
No, I think more of code of I think
Well, maybe,
we have to have more than that written in it, and that's why once it's written, it's not going to be accepted until everyone agrees on it.
and how are we able to function this many years as a board without the code of conduct?
I
If you're
think we
thinking
should
that
discuss
important.
this, yes.
Can I just add something?
Right.
So the code of conduct was coming, I believe that the authority was gonna be looking at it as, because the town of Hadley has a code of conduct for all elected officials, and it was going to be something almost identical to that. But I'd also like to point out that you're actually casting charges against another board member where
No, I
a
didn't
code.
cast charge.
No, you actually are.
In what
Against the
sense?
chairperson, the way the chairperson is conducting meetings and acting towards you.
No, I'm
A
just
co-
saying
If
from
I could
reading the
finish,
first
if I
page.
could finish.
Right,
A code of conduct could assist in that situation. So this could help you. I know that you are not, I've known you for a lot of years. I know you are not a bureaucrat.
not by
But
law, right.
right, but this, again, I remind you, this is a government agency, and we do have to, and you're not a volunteer. While you do volunteer your time, you are an elected official.
Right.
So you do
Still.
have, no, there's, just like you have to take the ethics training and board training, it would be a good idea to have a code of conduct.
And what I have to say about that is the fact that we've always wanted to separate ourselves from the select board. Anytime the select board has shown any interest in helping our board or being part of anything to do with our, we've always said arm's length away. Now all of a sudden you're saying that we want to be like the rest of the people in town.
No,
Because
no,
anybody in town that has been part of the board or part of any, just discussion in general of what's happening in our housing authority has been kept one arm length away, and all of a sudden now we're saying we want to adapt what the town of Hadley has. Even the Board of Health has always been your state, we're town. You know, it's always letting us know that we're separate over the years that the Board of Health has been called. It's always been told to tenants, your state, we're town. All of a sudden now, they're showing such interest, which is brand new.
So I have to correct you, you're wrong there. The Board of Health is, to my knowledge, has never said that.
Yes,
And
because
the-
I lived here for 21 years,
Well,
yes,
so
they
I,
have. So.
oh, okay,
yes.
so maybe you misunderstood, because the town, if I can finish, the Board of Health absolutely has jurisdiction over the housing authority in matters of the Board of Health. The fire department has jurisdiction. If the fire department comes in and says, you now need to change where your smoke detectors are located, they have the legal authority to do so. The building commissioner, they do have legal authority.
Right.
So your board chair is saying that the code of conduct, and I believe the other commissioners are thinking it's not a bad idea. It would be helpful for, especially with all the issues. I mean, there's a reason why we have 17 pages of minutes.
26 pages.
Okay, 26 pages of you know, we could go back to normal meeting minutes if everybody got along. So it's just, and we're not saying that the town is bad, we are separate, but it doesn't mean everything's bad that they're doing.
No,
That's why you're
But it's funny how
adapting.
we want to emulate,
funny.
we want to emulate the town when we
We're
want
not
to, and we
emulating the
don't
town.
want to emulate.
So I'm
the
sorry, I do, just on record, I disagree with your
Okay,
assessment of it.
let's move on, all right? Any more discussion? Okay. I guess future meetings, January 28th,
Should be 2025.
25, yeah.
Well,
I looked at that. Is that a?
For
that-
both,
that's
January and
scheduled.
February, yeah.
That'll be scheduled, and February 25th is a proposed,
2025.
25, yes. Everybody good with that so far?
Good with me.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, items for future agenda.
I think we should start putting things on the agenda. I think we need to have an agenda. Basically, it says commissioners' discussion. We have nothing other than future meeting. I think that we can all at least come up with one thing.
Like what?
Well, we'll have to think about it. It doesn't have to be done today. We can add it as long as it's done before they, you know, before you type it up and post it at town hall.
If we
Because otherwise, basically, we're, you know, I think it makes us feel more a part of the board and not just dealing with
So
what's.
we would create that all agenda items go to the chairperson
Right.
and myself at minimally 48 hours in advance. And then the
We don't have to
chairperson.
come up today necessarily, the day
No,
of
but
the
she's just giving you the timeline.
Right,
So you do need to, it should be an email form to the chairperson and myself, and then the chairperson makes the decision of what goes on the agenda.
Yes.
And that's 48 hours before the next meeting, correct?
Right, we post 48 hours, so, that's like the drop dead.
I would put 72 just to be safe.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, are you, oh, that was so close.
See,
No,
they
the
agree.
flag fell down.
They agree. Whoever you are,
We have it goes.
we have to.
All right,
All right, so,
we'll move on to public comments. There are
no public comments, yeah.
All right, make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.